of Musoni, where basically, he's there as an expert of financial inclusion, not just from a risk perspective, but really from a transformational perspective. He's an international speaker already and has a strong management background in the inclusive finance and banking domain with insightful understanding of financial sectors in various markets, like I already mentioned, cutting from Asia Pacific, Central Asia, and Africa. Extensively experienced in financial product development, corporate and product marketing strategies, MFIs, credit and fintech operations, worked in different countries, and provided coaching services with various FSIs. So today's webinar is on emerging trends in digital finance and financial inclusion. And without much further ado, Ali, and he'll lead us on for the next 30 minutes, giving us a presentation, about 30 to 40 minutes. I would like to ask you that for your questions and answers, please put them in the Q&A box already, and we'll be able to list them out at the very end. So, are based on a fast in, fast out. So please don't forget to put your questions in the Q&A box. Over to you, Faheem, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gilbert. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Faheem Ali, and I'm expert in digital transformations and also, financial inclusion. I worked, as Gilbert said, I worked in a number of countries, especially in Asia Pacific and West Africa also. Now I'm currently in East Africa, in Nairobi, Kenya right now. So in today's session, I will be sharing some thoughts on emerging technologies and the digital transformation and the future of work, which is more of kind now buzzword, which people are discussing, that how the future will look like and what will be there. So as you all know that after the virus, the world is quite different, whether the current lockdown lasts, weeks or months. I hope it will be not years, and a very little will remain, unchanged by the COVID-19. And as you all know that since the start of this coronavirus, the customer demands are changing more on the digital space. Unfortunately, many institutions or many organizations, businesses, they were delaying in the transformation efforts, and right now they are facing lots of challenges. But now the good news is that the world will be definitely changed, and so the digital services like customer experience, financial services, even the career and the jobs, even the career and the jobs will be different. It will be not like as it was earlier. So let's discuss one by one. First of all, we always hear digital, but what does the digital is? The concept needs to be very clear here. And that's why I want to bring this term digital. The term digital is used in many ways these days, but really what does it mean? There are a variety of terms related to this and that are noted, such as digitization, digitalization, and also digital transformation. Are these same thing, or what are the different of the definition? Let's discuss one by one. The number one, as I said, is digitization. The digitization is the conversion between the analog and the physical information of the digital format.
Give us a minute. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, Faheem.
Hello? Okay.
We can.
Okay. Let me carry on because I was hearing some background noise. So I was saying that digitization is the conversion between the analog and the physical information. It seems like, we have the paper which was in manual, and now it is actually changed in converting, in the digital physical paper form. So that is actually more on digitization. The second term is actually the digitalization. The digitalization is the use of digital technologies and the digitally enables approach to enable us to improve the business models and processes. And processes always are different processes. I will explain you again in my next slides that how the digital processes, the operational processes and the business processes actually works in the digital era. And the more example is actually the smart glasses, or you can say AI, or you can say chatbot. This is actually the digitization. Like earlier, there was a call center lady. You used to talk, and then again it was recorded and all that. Now it is actually the chatbot. Now there is robotic people who are discussing and answering your questions. So that is more on digitalization. The third one, which is actually the combination of all these, which is called digital transformation. It is the combination of the digitalization efforts and also the scales between the different operation modules which people are using. It works with 3 or 4, more areas. Number 1 is people. Number 2 is processes, and number 3 is technologies, and number 4 is on matrices. Matrices is more on AI, machine learning, and all that. The goal of this is to bring meaningful outcomes, on the organization, integrated with the various digital, areas, initiatives such as augmented reality, 3D printing. Now also people are using 3D printing in East Africa, more on agri value chain. You will be surprised to hear, and once you will go in agri areas, people are using 3D printed tools over there. Then robotic process automation, RPA, we also say. The RPA is more on, transforming the individual processes in the automation, etc. So this is an example of digital transformation. We will discuss more in the next slide, that what are the main 3 pillars of, digital transformation. And this is what I have also indicated one, image here, which is very clear. Like digitalization is actually the conversion of data and processes, and again the businesses. Let's discuss what are the 3 main pillars of digital finance and transformation. Think about the business processes or employees engagement and the customer relationship a couple of decades ago, where the business communications was recorded and the data management was mostly on the paper base. There was a big ledger. You go in the bank, they open your name, then they do some checking over there. There was a telephonic conversation. There was a mails and memos which you used to sign, stamp, then send. Now again the email actually works well. Then the processes and the operations are completely changed, with the more of less of the human efforts, or heavily on the machines. Customer engagements are also changed. Direct calls, visits, or even shop sellings are now becoming a change. People don't want to go on the particular area. You can just name it out, the few businesses. You can even see right now the ads which you see in the TV. How the KFC have immediately changed their ad, that we are COVID, measures are there. You can order us. We can actually also deliver the services which you are not delivering at the door. The services doesn't exist. Remember, the customer will not visit your particular businesses. They want a customer's services, on the remote basis and even on the virtually. So what are the 3 main organizational pillars which briefly constitute the building blocks of the business? Number 1, from my viewpoint, is actually the transforming customer experience. Number 2 is actually transforming operational experience and operational processes. And number 3 is transforming business model. We will discuss one by one, and that is actually the transforming of digital finance and transformation. How you can transform the customer experience. And customer experience, once I say, I doesn't mean that I'm discussing the sales module here. It is the module which you need to bring more in your business areas. Customer always comes first. Without customers, you cannot move even your operational or your business module. So let's discuss what is transforming customer experience. Companies are using right now digital media, BI softwares, business intelligence softwares, data analytic tools, and they are understanding more of the customer's behavior, like geographically, demographically, and their needs. Then they make the product and the services which are designed to meet by the customer's interests, their likes, their dislikes, and what are the problems they are facing right now, or even in the future, or what the problem they have faced. Is it that the data is structured well, which give us, more on that particular area? My answer is no. The data which currently we have is like a library. Once you go in library, you always see a section of science, you always see a section of history, You can always see the section of technology. But what if you go in library and all books are lying on the floor? So right now, institutions' data is also on the same manner. So all information is lying on the floor, like a books, which is more not on the customized manner. What are the top, growth which we need to do? Let me ask you right now. Do you have any customized software like CRM, customer relationship management, to exchange between the customer relationship and to manage the key attributes of the customers? We really need to develop the digital, plugins kind of thing to simplify our product and also integrating customer needs to provide better customer services. Because customer better services, if it is not there, then it is very hard, to survive in the market. Then the third one is customer's touch point. Customer touch point is also important. If you are not, connecting the customers to the different means, it will be quite different, to connect. And the customer's agenda on the financial inclusion, which, usually the financial institutions follow, the agenda on the financial inclusion, it starts from the customers. And the touch point which you have right now, it's more important. Let me ask you, did you ever ask them how are your disbursements, how you are currently doing your loan disbursements, or you are, managing your business processes or repayments even? What if you are using, for example, MNOs like Safaricom, like Airtel, or any other MNOs, or like any other MNOs which you are using right now for the customer's disbursement point of view? It is not working from tomorrow. How you will manage? What if the bank which you are using, that will be not available for you? What the next bank you will use? What will be your BCB community bank? I'm sure you have heard about the Ajua, which you are connected right now. You know what the Ajua do? Actually, they connect to your customers in the real time, which you can understand your customers better. As we are also using their services, we use real time understanding of our customers. They increase that actually, once you understand the customers, it increase the sales through the smart experience. And again, the industry benchmark, once you are doing the services, you can do what services industry has and what services you are offering to your customers. And then you benchmark what is your NPS, net promoter scores, to keep alive, and the customer's retention. That is where you can increase your customer retention at the high level. And let us know, that this is the future of customers' experience. Otherwise, we will be not available here to discuss more of our business if we are not supporting our customers. Let me show you one video where the Lisa was, how the customer experience has changed because of, the AI. Lisa, please see the video.
If there are billions of conversations happening every minute, imagine how many times your bank must have been talked about while you finish watching this video. Each conversation is a business moment for you to create a memorable experience for your customers that they would want to share with others. Envision the world's future. From smartphone to a smarter phone. From a car with a driver to a car without a driver. Future is the next present, where our imagination today has become Lisa's fully automated banking experience in 2020. While Lisa is sleeping, her phone receives a notification regarding the shipment, which is ready with the exporter. The intelligent software checks for funds and notifies her bank that she would need a letter of credit. Understanding an urgent change in schedule, her phone automatically resets the alarm for 7 a.m. so that she can plan her day. By the time Lisa is ready to go, her smartwatch receives a notification that her black vehicle is low on fuel and suggests that she drives the red car. The GPS selects the shortest route, and Lisa arrives the New Age Bank's intelligent branch sharp at 9. From the moment Lisa arrives at the bank's special branch with no staff at all, the door installed with intelligent communicator scans Lisa to notify the bank about her arrival. Bank's interactive walls talk to Lisa to tell her about how she can transact better with bank's offers or corporate credit. Meanwhile, her smartwatch directs her to a special kiosk where the bank welcomes Lisa, automatically logs her in, and connects her to an expert, who is a client of the bank too, to guide her about the needs for the letter of credit. Within minutes, her letter of credit is approved, the exporter receives the payment, Lisa's shipment is released, and the time is just 9:15 a.m. Rewinding to today, can you imagine the intelligent banking experience on a vacation? While Ted is enjoying his vacation, a bike, Harley, passes by, catching his attention. The bike has been Ted's dream since school. Ted takes a picture and uploads it on his social. Instantly, bank's intelligent software picks up Ted's interest in this bike, analyzes his post on social media, his sentiment, his conversations about the product, and after analyzing his spending pattern, the bank offers a pre-approved bike loan along with information on the best dealers around, their discounts offered, and the color options available, all on the go. While Ted is still on vacation, bank's geotagging technology identifies Ted's location, instantly analyzes his credit card spending pattern, and offers him the best deals on bike accessories at a nearby store. And this is not all. Before the vacation ends, the bank delights Ted by offering him free airline miles and complimentary hotel stay to plan his next vacation. Imagine millions of customers like Ted for a bank like yours. The intelligent software enables you to continuously track millions of social media conversations to engage, interact, and offer a futuristic banking experience to your valuable customers. Place, time, or medium no longer matters. Engage your customers. Delight your customers. New Gen products help you do just that by connecting systems, processes, people, and things of your business.
Once the corona, this COVID starts, the pandemic starts, so what kind of services we have brought to our customers? Is it that we are doing business as usual or we are doing something different? Customer always sees that what the institutions are doing with them so that they can change their model. And they discuss in their community, in their family, or in their village, that how we are offering some different kind of services to them. And this is what, the customer services is needed at a different level. Discuss that how the product can be, or the processes can be digitized. So the second, which I have said, is the transforming operational processes. The number one area on is actually process digitization. As I've talked to you before, the companies are installing their automated plans, on security, safety systems, decreasing the human factor in their processes. For example, robotic process automation, RPA. Now, robotic process automation, once we talk, it doesn't mean that you are automating everything, whatever you are doing. Like yesterday, tomorrow, you will say to all your staff, go home, and then now we have all this process automation. We don't need you. Process automation always comes, in the steps, step by step. Like you are doing one step, you are automating that one. You are going again to the next steps, you are automating that one. But again, it starts from end to end. It should not be, that you are doing in the summarize or in a quick manner, where you are losing also on your business. Remember, once you are transforming or you are bringing new technology, you need to also do the change management between your employees and also with your customers. They need to understand what you are doing. Otherwise, if you are doing some, kind of very good, system processes you have brought over there, but again, who is using it, it's matter a lot. So your R&D, your research and development department, or your marketing department should plan the processes enhancing and to focus on innovation and ideas which works better for your institution. The number two is the worker enablement. Now, most of the companies are using, digital platforms. They are empowering the employees to engagement processes in their decision making. Companies are now giving options to employees to work from home, or it suits whatever suits best to them. Now, companies are also hiring the consultant, which are, not in the country. They are wherever they are. They are working from there, whatever their needs are. That now it's not like a job requirement which you need to sit on the chair and then you sit in the office and then you work. It's a work enablement, and you can work wherever you are. And then again, it gives you more and more structure that what you are doing. The third is actually the performance management. How your performance management you are doing it. Is it that you are also using the real-time data rather than, you are using the data which is only, as I said before, not the transforming of your businesses? And is it the data is helping you to make the strategy and decision-making process? The number three, which is on transforming of your businesses is more of the business model. We have talked, number one, I just want to repeat, we have talked, number one is the customer experience, number two is the operational processes, and number three is actually the business model. In business model, you need to change. Number one is actually the digital modelization of your businesses. This is like the organization and policy makers now have realizing that they have to do something, the change. Like more of the, like if I go to the West Africa, in West Africa, most of the countries says that your business continuity or your data center should be in the institution and it should not go out of the country. But now they have realized that in this pandemic, you cannot put only the data in the country. You can even put, outside the country or even on the cloud. And this is what the policymaker need to change. The regulator have to come and, to discuss something different. And we as an institution, all to transform also our conduct of business. We need to connect different areas, like for example, payment and disbursement through different means, not only the cash or not only to the mobile money. We maybe need to think on how we can create our own M-wallet. We need to think that how we can create our own platform to transform the services, or we can use the different platforms to use to minimize our services and customize our services. Number two is actually new digital business, like a brick and mortar. Example like Uber. Uber was Uber is the new business which provides earning opportunities to the individuals, and that they don't have any assets. Once you have a digital business, you can actually connect with a number of partners. You can connect with number of sectors. You can connect with value chain. For example, let me give you an example. For example, you want to fund to the school. Like you create the picture of the schools in mind. Now, if you have the picture of the schools, then what comes in your mind? The students, what services you can give to them. The parents are also doing businesses, so what kind of services you can do to the parents. The suppliers who are doing the supplies in the schools. The staff, the staff who also need something. They might need some, laptops, they might need some asset finance. They might need some, the regular loans. They might need some housing finance loan. You get my point. So is a kind of a value chain that you have to go. So business model you need to change, in a very different area. The same goes to agriculture also. Like in Kenya right now, agriculture is the 85% of the GDP comes from the agriculture. How we in the agriculture services in the different financial institutions? Are we approaching again the individual SMEs, or we are approaching MSMEs again individually? Or we are approaching smallholder farmers individually. Why can't we approach in a different manner? Like, for example, we go agro dealers, we go to the logistic providers, we go to the smallholder farmer groups, or we go to the individuals differently through the smallholder farmers or agro dealers. And then again, it connects with the different areas, like transport is also connected to the agriculture. Insurance is also connected to the agriculture. So your digital business, what I'm trying to say, your digital business, which should be a transforming of your business model, should connect to all the individuals at the one platform, only at the one sector by sector you are doing. So your business value chain, your digital business module should be the same as it minimize the risk, and also it creates a multiple avenues for you. Then again, the digital globalization, which is also integrated with the payment services, how you are doing. The customer need the digital, globalization, that how you are connecting your services in a different manner. From here, you see how will be the technology transform the financial institution. These are some of the areas which I've mentioned in front of you, like digital media, how you are doing the marketing right now, how you are onboarding your customers, how you are bringing your customers in a different manner. I was in a session and there was a technology expert over there. And then he said that we have changed our business model in our banking. One of the people have actually asked that I am your customer of your bank. I will not put the name of the bank, but then he said that I am the customer of your bank, but still the onboarding customer is very tedious. I need to go to your bank. You usually ask number of questions. You usually ask number of documents, physical documents, not even, the virtual documents. So how is our digital media? How we are onboarding our customers? How we are bringing the customers through the different means? Let me ask you, are you onboarding customers through your website? Are you onboarding customers through your mobile app? Are you onboarding your customers through USSD? Are you onboarding your customers through the different menus on the mobile? If answer is yes, then again you are on the right track. If answer is no, then again you need to rethink how you need to transform your business. Then cloud computing. Yeah, there's a number of cloud computing is already available, like SaaS, software as a services or private softwares, which you can use. Why you want to build your own? Some of the institutions are trying to build their own, digital transformation cloud services, which is quite, which is easy also, I would say. But again, you need to spend lots of money. Why in this period of time? Then again, the automation, big data. Big data, I will talk again more on the different slides. CRM, as I said, ERP module also, blockchain, bring a different strategy of blockchain also, which again, as I said before, is it your customer needs on the blockchain or not? Then artificial intelligence, AI also. Is it you are talking to your customers, again the same, you are talking, bringing your phone, calling to the customers, hi sir, how are you, and all that, or you have a different module, or you have a different kind of a chatbot services. If answer is yes, then you are on the right track. If the answer is no, then again you are still in the old age, and you need to transform your business. You need to connect your customers more frequently. Not like you have done one activity, you have done one transaction, now you go and sleep, and again you say that okay, once the customer will come see. So this is kind of AI or machine learning you need to bring in your institution to transform your business. Let's see the video here, which is 10 emerging technologies building the competitive advantages in the enterprise model. Just see that what are the 10 emerging technologies, please. Selecting the technology. We have already talked so many rosy here that the technology is something like this, technology is something like this. But again, how does the technology you select the DFS partner, the digital financial services partner, which is the key element. There are a number of partners in the market. You need to be very keen once you are selecting any DFS partner. So these are the 6 things which I've highlighted here, which you need to focus once you are selecting any partner. Number 1 is actually the cost, that what is the cost? Is it in your budget? Is it that you need right now or not? Then number 2 is the controls. You need to revisit the controls very critically. There are very good partners, very big name of the partners, but their control departments or their control elements in their background systems are not as good as you want. And remember, once anything happened, it is you, your institution, the name will come in front, not their institution, because they are the third-party providers. Then again, the compliance element, the systematic risk and the failure. So what will be the systematic risk and the compliance regulatory environment also. The coverage, sometimes they bring the very good, softwares or very good systems. But what is the coverage? Is it that it works in your network? It can work in your area of business. It can work in your core banking system, CBS. Coverage is quite important. You need to understand the coverage where you are doing and what they are doing. Otherwise, you are bringing their softwares, but maybe it is only usable at the head office level or maybe in the urban areas. Characters also. What is the character of your vendor? You need to maybe ask them that who was your previous, clients. Ask them who was your previous clients, and then you can just, make your one good checklist, and then ask from that clients that, how was your experience and all that, so that you can understand the character of that particular provider. And then continuity, the last one. Continuity is more important. How frequently they are going off. There's a very good partners which provides, the technology through the different mean, like, the banking, M-Pesa and all that, but the connectivity is very bad. So again, once you connect it with that, and again, they are providing with different services, how the connectivity is more important to understand the technology which you are using. Again, the key question comes that how can the institution make a good use of the data? The data is the number one, which is more on leveraging your strategy, bringing your products and advantages of the opportunities in digital financial services. So the number one in the data is that you need to bring different areas. Remember, the customer is always in the center, and your data should be the different strategies which you need to bring. And this is what you need to also think in the data, because in the data it's important to understand that data management, the strategic thinker. So first of all, you need to understand that who is handling the data in your institution. Is it the specific designation over there, like chief technology or chief digital transformation, or is it digital data transformation, or data officer, or data science, or UX, or kind of a person, or a data science or data analyst, who is handling the data in your institution, which is more important to understand from the data point of view. And what kind of innovations you have brought in the data, understanding the data. Like I said before, that for example, your institution is a library, and once you go in the library, is it that the books are sorted in the different shelf with like a science section, like a history section, or all are on the floor? So this is something which you need to understand. You need to bring in a very different innovation point of view, like BI softwares which you need to use, technology and data architect you need to use, so that you can sort your data in the different mean. Let me ask you one thing. If you are from the banking institution or even from the microfinance, how many of your customers are frequently touch with you in the different transactions? What kind of services you are bringing to your silver customers or gold customers and platinum customers, or the customers which are not dealing the transactions with you from the couple of months. This is what you need to bring the data leadership in your institution. Otherwise, the data which you are using is maybe of no use. You are collecting number of information, you're collecting number of gigabytes, that kind of a data, but what kind of use you are doing, that is more important. Creating your digital transformation plan, and that is what I have also indicated. This is my maybe second last slide. That creating your digital transformations plan. Strategy planning is also important to speed up your digital, and this is what we are saying, that probably you got the sense that the pace of the change in the new digital in the world is faster than ever, and let me tell you, it will be more faster actually. The one which we are doing right now, it will be more faster. But does the 3 or 10 years plan some companies prefer, which is still applies, or does it mean that the plan which we are doing right now, which we need to think again? Is actually both. You need to think again. You need to make the long-term plan also. But it's not doesn't mean that you don't have to do the shorter strategy planning cycles, which are also necessary. For instance, the plan you are using for a year ago, might be is right now usable or not. The technology or the process which you are bringing right now, is it important right now, or is it already obsolete? What the competitors are doing, what you are doing. Are you only looking your competitors, or you are also bringing your own, mindset, bringing in your systems or technology or processes? I've defined 4 steps here, and that are, the more advising kind of a thing. Number 1 is actually, the area of, I would say, the investigate a part of the possible, regarding innovation, new technologies. This is actually that what kind of innovation, new technologies you need to bring in your business. And number 2, which I'm saying, work with your customers, develop a new plan, or how the digital technology will work to enhance your customer experience. As I said, customer experience is more important. Whatever you are bringing, customer experience should come more closely. That's why this Ajua, you can use their platform. It's a wonderful. You can even take a demo. You will understand that how the customer experience works. In the real time, you understand why the customer is unhappy, why the customer is also happy, and how you can make them more happy. You can also identify the outgrowth of the current strategic plan. What is your strategic plan, what you need to change, what you need to bring it new. And then finally, a fresh of your plan frequency. This is what you need to bring, in your institution. One of my favorite quotes, which comes from the management guru and the author, Jerry, he always says that company fails to create the future, not because they fail to predict it, but because they fail to imagine it. And it is the creativity and the curiosity they lack, not the clarity. And experimentations together with this solid strategic planning idea, and this is what we need to also understand. The companies always fail to create the future, not because they don't predict it. They know what the future is, but they fail to imagine it. They want to go, or they don't want to go over there. And this is what we are also experiencing overall in the industries, that what we really want to do in the digital transformation. Let me show you the future of work in terms of augmented reality and the virtual reality, how the future of work will look like. Please see.
Spatial is a collective computing environment that lets teams visualize their thoughts in the room around them. So whether you're on a desktop computer or scribbling notes on your phone, all your digital devices are seamlessly tied together into an infinite workspace. You can manifest your ideas before your eyes by just saying them, and in a click, expand them with the power of all the world's information. Using augmented reality's infinite canvas, pixels become tactile, letting you manipulate them like clay. We believe digital and physical worlds should live in harmony together. You can sketch ideas out on paper, or have them exist digitally. Spatial brings people and ideas together into a single shared environment, letting us work together in profound new ways.
So this is more of the augmented reality for the future of work. Remember, in the future, it will be not like a meetings which you used to. It will be like you are at your home, but you will wear some glasses and you will look like that you are in that, particularly in the meeting room. Or maybe you are right now in Kenya, but once you are doing that meeting, you are in the US, you are in the Western countries. Or maybe you are in the Western countries, you are right now in the Asia, maybe in India, or maybe in Bangladesh, doing the virtual meetings or virtual realities, or doing some virtual work from the different means. So the world will be quite different. The future of world will be quite different. What we used to do before and what we will do in the future. In a nutshell, what I'm trying to say that we need to understand the customer needs and how the technology can respond to their fundamentals. We also need to explore the critical technology components, appropriately delivered channels and what we need to bring it for our audience. We need to also conduct the market assessment before we bring any existing technology. Don't only see the new technology which wows you and you just implement that one. Bring first of all what exactly your customer needs are, what is the acquisition of the technology platform is, and then bring it to your systems or to your institution. The availability should be high, otherwise you are also doing lots of money expenses over there. But again, the availability is there or not. The data, please focus more on your data. The data will give you lots of new areas of avenues where you can work right now. How many sectors you are doing, the data is actually the one which can brings you the new life in your institution. And the new emerging digital technologies, which is more DFS kind of thing which you need to bring. So these are my resources which I usually share. If you need, I can also share the links of all of them. Some of them are my articles, some of them are my video learnings, which you can even see. I've also talked on risk management on DFS. There are some of the white papers which I also worked with the World Bank and IFC, You can also read that white papers, which will actually bring you, give you more understanding on digital transformation. The first one, digital transformation and why we need it, is my recent article. I request you all to please read that one. It will actually clarify and will help you more, that how the adoption of the digital transformation you can bring it in your institution. Along with that, there are a number of tools, frameworks, and also the white papers. If you need it, please send me the text on my WhatsApp, or you can connect me on my LinkedIn or email me. I will actually share with you all these articles or links or even tools and frameworks which will help you in your institution. Further, I'm also available on my WhatsApp. You can even call me or DM me so that we can work or I can share with you some of the areas which you want. Lastly, I would like to say thank you first of all to Ajua, to providing this opportunity to me. And I would like to say also something which is very different. Remember, this is an amazing era, like a Shakespeare kind of era, where the Shakespeare's for also writing number of books. So we are in the era or the pandemic where we can develop a digital transformation to change the customer's experience. And we can bring, the latest tech in this quarantine, which I will always say is that we are in quarantine and we can bring the latest, technology or tech model, financial services in the different areas. So yes, it's a different area, and actually we need to work together to support our customers. Thank you so much, and stay connected. I'm open for a Q&A now.
Thank you very much, Faheem. Really, really appreciate, and also for the words of encouragement regarding what we can do with the pandemic, create new stuff, right? Create new markets. Really appreciate that. Great presentation, great insights into how the future is becoming the present. And just want to, quick reminder again to everybody else, put your questions in the Q&A. But just before that, something interesting you mentioned that your triangle regarding transformation in terms of customer experience, process, and then business model, and especially on the business model transformation, where you can actually be able to look at ways with which the current challenges can assist in retransforming the business model completely. Just very recently, one strong African player, demonstrated how they did that, and it's just amazing. Maybe I want to get your insights in terms of how you're looking at your company or those you associate with and how they're doing that. So to give you this example, where they've shut down all their offices across Africa, but that actually became a positive thing, because not only are they now working from home without physical presence other than one small sales office somewhere, right? They said, before we were only focused in the markets where our offices are. Now then they're expanding that scope and saying, based on working from home and work distribution model, they'll be able to actually go across the entire Africa space. So it's no longer about having employees in specific places like they used to have. Now they'll have employees across the whole continent, open up new markets, and completely transform their businesses using this new digital way. So it's just an amazing story of how the current challenge can be transformed completely into a new market environment for the business to thrive into the future. Are you seeing other examples like that? And in your own organization, how are you looking at the current challenges and saying, from a model or from a process or from a customer experience, you can actually thrive out of this as well?
You are actually spot on this one. Even the shareholders or the financial providers or the grant managements or even the donors, they used to give the grants on the customer services which physically you are doing. But once this pandemic is started, you will realize, or maybe you have seen from the different websites, they are actually different grants of innovation. Bringing different, innovation kind of services in your institution. Like I will name it out few, like MasterCards. They have brought a very big, grant on that particular area, or like $250 million, bringing that you transform your overall innovation, not only to the services which you are doing, but also the services in the different markets. You can even UNCDF also brought one of the grant services which they are doing, that you should do not the services only in the country which you are, but maybe in the different sectors, maybe in Asia or Asia Pacific, wherever you are, you just work in the different market sectors. And the payment processes, also the disbursement. Why we are thinking, as you said, why we think only that we want to work only with our, our own country. We can actually bring the, as I said, also one of my slide, the global digitalization, which you can bring connect your institution with the global institution, partner with them. Not necessarily you need to bring the offices over there, but you need to sit here and then you need to work in the global, kind of a thing. I totally agree with you. It's the customer experience which you need to bring. That, as I said, so this, this pandemic actually have opened our minds that how we can actually transform, or we can think big in the different manners or in the different transformation areas. I totally agree with you.
Thanks, Faheem. Again, I want to tap on your experience on microfinance. I think you've done it for more than almost a decade, right?
Yes.
Exactly. And because one of the 10 digital transformation areas you mentioned, somewhere there we had microservices involved, right? There was something about microservices. I'm a fan of Professor Prahalad. I don't know if you know him, right? C.K. Prahalad. You wrote this book, Fortune at the Bottom of the Pyramid. It's an amazing book that was, I would say, even more relevant now, I think, right? But from a microservices perspective, with the current challenges of the pandemic and now new realities that are emerging in terms of who is the customer, what's the structure of the customer, and what's the structure of the market, and then what's the structure of finance for that market that can keep it oiled and moving forward. What are your insights around that in terms of how digital transformation that you mentioned as one of the 10 pillars is going to power that from a microservices perspective?
You are actually right on this one. Right, once we talk on technology and all that, that's why I said that you need to first do the market assessment of what your customer needs are, exactly your needs, and then go on the different technology. What the institutions are lacking, that sometimes the micro institutions, especially I'm here, what they are lacking, that they bring the high tech, but they forget about the high touch also. The high touch is actually the customer experience, which you need to touch, a different modules. Are you doing, once we give the technology, kind of services to them, are we also trying to teach them how the services they can use? Because the customers which we are using right now, we are, providing the services to them, they are very different from what you and me are. They are not like the tech savvy people. They even don't know how to use the technologies. They even don't know how to use the smartphones. So in the microfinance sectors, or what we are doing as an Musoni also in our institution, we have a digital literacy program, a very big, digital literacy program, which is funded by different, service providers or, international service providers also, where we also transform in the different matters like assessment of the client, that what their needs are, what are the digital literacy programs which we need to run. Especially also we try to give them, some digital gadgets so that they can use it, so that they can understand how they're using it. And then again, they use it for the different services or different manners. Because again, if what services you need for them to use them, it is for them, first of all, to understand, then again, they will use your services. Otherwise, it will be of no use. You are bringing, kind of a, for example, you are bringing USSD service. Is it your customer understand what the USSD is? Is it your customer understand how to use it? Is it your customer is using the menu with the different, avenues or different onboarding services also? Or their customer saying, I don't know how to use it. I don't know what services you have brought, in that microfinance. So the overall, what I'm trying to say in Asia, right? For example, in Asia Pacific, if I talk more on Asia Pacific, like Philippine countries or Cambodia, their onboarding process is still same as it was, in the 90s or even, in the 80s. The onboarding process is not more on tech. Right now, they are trying to bring it, like Thailand is already high, but Cambodia is still low. Now, again, if you go in Bangladesh or in Nepal side, again, you will see that the Bangladesh is high, but again, the very nearest country is Nepal. Again, they are, are lacking on it. You go to India and Pakistan, you will see in urban areas, the technology is high tech is too much, but again, the high tech is not there. Fintech is coming, more, servicing the people with the small loans. They are creating the over indebtedness. So financial literacy program, financial management program is also important, particularly in your sector, especially in the microfinance as we talk. Because if you are not bringing your financial inclusion program without a digital literacy or even the financial management, you will be unable to reach to your customers. Maybe you will disburse, some coins, but again, ultimately, you will be not able to retain your customers, or the end point, what your mission is, you will be unable to reach over there. Thank you.
Great, thanks very much. We have got a poll, some questions. Please, attendees, if you may, just click on the poll questions and submit your answers. And we'll just have Faheem just give us an overview of that, during his closing remarks. There's a question regarding, Faheem, there's a question here for you regarding financial assistance on the profitability of SMEs, right? So basically, if we have to study the impact of assistance on the profitability of SMEs using cross-sectional data from beneficiaries and non-beneficiaries, what are the different techniques to be able to do so? And I guess this is pretty much because, trying to tap on your experience from a microfinance perspective, SMEs are one of the most impacted right now, and will probably, have a very drawn out recovery, right? So I think this is quite a very critical, question, sorry, but, it'll be good to hear your
let me try to answer this. There is no cross-sectional data available, even through the regulatory point of view also. That's why most of the institutions are actually saying that the regulatory also have to come to collect the different data, like from the manufacturing point of view, from the ground point of view, from M&S point of view, from banking, from microfinance, from credit-only institutions, to collect the data at the one sector so that they can actually, we can use for the different techniques. This is not right now available, but yes, in future, most of the institutions or the regulators are working. But there are some white papers available on this particular questions which you have asked, the different SME sectors which is affected through the technology or the techniques which they are using. I can share that, with you, which actually says that SMEs with the different sectors, what are the beneficiaries or non-beneficiaries they need to work, what are the different sectors which you need to grow your business, or what are the areas which you can actually exclude right now in the pandemic especially. There are some white papers also which you can read in the Fin service, financial microfinance gateway services also, where I've also mentioned one or two articles. You can even read over there, which is on the more technology side. But the data is more important. The data we used to say earlier, there's a very different says that we used to say earlier that we will go in the bank to deposit the check. We usually visit the bank to deposit the check, to deposit the money. But now in future, we will go in the bank to deposit our data actually. And the data will be under the custody of the lock and key, and again, it will be then the safe, so that our data is more secure. So cross-functional sector data is still not available right now, but some of the studies are already done. You can read from the different white papers. I can actually share with you the link on that particular area.
Great stuff. There's another polling question. Please, let's have that answered as well, as we are about to finish. We'll ask you shortly, Faheem, for your closing remarks. And as of that, you mentioned something about moving at the speed of light. I guess we are all trying to run away from COVID, which is coming at the speed of light, literally. It's decimating economies that have taken generations to build. It's decimating business models that have taken generations to build, and basically recreating a new world. And this new world, we don't know how it will look like. But all you know is that you need to move and move fast, or you need to think and think fast. You need to execute your strategy pretty fast. And only those who are using digital at least are assured of a quicker exit of the challenges, right? It's no longer an option whether you're going to use digital or not. Yeah. You can imagine if anybody was still waiting to have a board meeting physically, across countries, they'll still be waiting, while other companies have been doing literally weekly board meetings. So only those who will using video. So only those who will be able to adopt digital to will be able to exit this. I said assured at least of exiting faster than anybody else. So I guess in your closing remarks, it would be great to just hear your insight around speed, because we've always talked about digital transformation, but we always know it's about, there's also some speed elements, but it's never been that much of an issue. Therefore, you can be bureaucratic about digital transformation as much as you want. Let's do it like that. But I think the underlying factor right now is really being underpinned by speed. And I like that, you're one of the, the last closing slides, regarding speed being at the top. So it would be great if you could just insight as you give us your closing remarks. I don't know if you're able to see the polling questions now. Can you see the results, please? And then you can comment on the results and also aspects of speed. On the aspect of speed as well. So please go ahead. Give us your closing remarks.
Yeah, so can you first bring the poll answers? I can comment on that one and then my closing remarks.
Okay, great. Can we have that?
Yeah, coming up.
Thank you.
Okay, so you can see the answers. It's a very clear answer that how the pandemic has actually impacted your business plan. It's actually downwards, or it's no impact, or it's postponed. So most of the institutions are actually, even the people in the poll are also saying it is accelerated. So digital plan is actually really increasing in all institutions. It's not like what, as you said, the board meeting which we used to do quarterly, now we can actually do on weekly. But let me tell you also one thing, Wilbert, because earlier, we used to see the excuses of digital. Once we say digital, then people were saying, no, let's do this way. So the excuses were too much. But now there's no excuse. You need to go, and you need to go on that actually particular area. So I totally agree with the attendees here. That accelerated. It's actually really accelerated. Maybe we can bring also the second one. Can we bring the second one, George?
Yes, coming up as well.
Okay. So as we are saying that the financial visibility of is really changing from the COVID, and what is the impact, especially at your long-term financial visibility. So most of the institution, most of the people are saying it's slightly, concerned or moderately concerned. And some of the people are actually extremely concerned, especially on this COVID-19. Yes, the concern is always there, but again, it also gives us the challenges. And this is what my closing remarks is. As I said earlier, the digital transformation is actually creating something new for us. It's creating a shorter plan, which we need to bring, planning cycles of the short-term goals, and also the long-term goals. But we need to think now. We don't have to wait now. And as I said, in the 4 steps, you need to investigate what exactly you need now, what you need to bring, in your shorter-term plan, and what you need to bring in your long-term plan. But again, it all connects with your customer's experience and your customer needs, which comes to your data. So data you need to use at a very opportunity kind of a level where you can actually see that what the data is saying. And again, finally, you need to refresh again and again your plan. Otherwise, if you're just making the plan, like, most of the institution, what they do, they make the plan, they put it in the shelf, and then they work whatever the business as usual is. You need to refresh your plan again and again to see what are the areas which is not, achievable, and what you need to immediately change in particular areas of your institution. Thank you so much, Gilbert.
Thank you, Faheem. Again, Chief Risk Officer of Musoni, global experience across Asia Pacific, Central Asia and Africa. We really do appreciate having you this afternoon on the Ajua's webinar Stay Alive and Thrive series. Again, thank you all attendees. This will not be what it is without you. The recording will be available on Ajua's YouTube channel shortly, a couple of hours after this. So thank you all very much. Looking forward to having you again, and stay alive and thrive. See you next time. Thanks.